Welcome everyone to the CELPIP Speaking Part 7 Expressing Opinions Analysis. Now I'm just here in the Speaking Part 7 of the CELPIP library. And before we get started, I do want to remind you that Speaking Part 7 focuses on CLB 7 plus or higher. What does that mean? Well, that means that if you need to get CLB 7 or higher, then you need to try to do very well in this part. You need to try to make sure that you answer this question your best, not part 3 or 4, right? Part 3 or 4, it's a very simple picture, just describing the picture. And that part, if you answer that part well, it doesn't show that you are level 7 or higher. But if you answer parts 1, 6, and 7 strongly, then it will show that you are a level 7 or higher. Okay? That's what that means. Also, it means that if you need CLB 4, 5, or 6, then this part you don't have to worry so much about answering strongly, because this part is more difficult question topics, and you need to answer with using more difficult language. In your case, lower levels, you should make sure you should answer part 2, 3, 4, and 5. Those parts are more for lower levels, okay? All right. And then I also want to remind you about our Speaking Part 7 Expressing Opinions Tips and Strategies video. Now that video will give you a more in-depth analysis of some tips and strategies that you can use for Speaking Part 7, how to manage your time, how to organize your answer, how to read the question, what to think about. Some of the tips and strategies that I will be using in this analysis, you can find more information about that in the tips and strategies video. And I will be leaving a link in the description box to that video. Okay? So then here we are in our question option for today is foreign aid. Okay. So then this CLB 5-6 sample includes 4 sections. The first one is the video analysis, which you're watching right now. The second one is vocabulary building. Now, vocabulary building, everyone, especially lower levels, we need to improve our vocabulary, right? So this is a really good exercise. You have some vocabulary words, their meaning, synonyms, antonyms, okay? And then the best part is we have this sentence over here, and you need to read the sentence, and you need to try to complete the sentence with one of the words from the list. The bylaw, regulate officers, industry officers, regulatory, enforcement maybe? And then we write the sentence over here, okay? We write it, and then we see how we did, okay? So that's a really great way to improve our vocabulary. Then we have grammar building. Grammar building, it's great to improve our grammar knowledge. Now, level 4, 5, and 6, we still are learning grammar. So this grammar exercises will really help you improve that. Today's grammar lesson is about gerunds and infinitives. So we have some explanations here, some really good explanations. Also would like to. We read the explanation, and then we have some practice exercises where you read the question by "I hope to see you again," and then you write the sentence. Okay, you write it in the box and it will really help you. And then after you check your answers, okay, you have here a sentence. Amy had a lot, so I offered to help her maybe. So you write your sentences and then you check your answers and you can review. Very good. So as you can see, we have part 7, expressing opinions, preparation time 30 seconds, speaking time 1 minute and 30 seconds, okay? And well, the first thing that we should try to remember is that we should try to, you will have a notepad with you. And in that notepad, in those 30 seconds, which is not a lot of time, but maybe you can take a few notes. I would say write 2 ideas to talk about, okay? That will be good. And now everyone, let's remember that for this level, we need to try to speak as much as we can for 1 minute and 30 seconds. Just keep speaking. That's very important for fluency. The more speaking you can do, the better. And really, for level 5, the more you speak, the better, okay? For level 6, we should speak for at least 1 minute. Now, we should always think about answering the question clearly and directly. And let's try to organize an answer. And for that, everyone, I will be following this speaking guide. This guide, it tells us how to organize our answer. Introduce the question, first idea, give examples, explain, second idea, give examples, explain, maybe third idea if you have a chance, and then a closing statement or conclude. I will be following that, okay? It's very important to try to organize, especially for this level. It will be if we have an idea of what we should do, then we will speak more, okay? So part 7, expressing opinions. Preparation time 30 seconds, speaking time 1 minute and 30 seconds. So again, let's read this question. Do you think that Canada should provide foreign aid to all countries and organizations that request it through our programs? Why or why not? So everyone, so this question is about foreign aid. Canada should provide. So should give foreign aid. Now, foreign aid, that means support. It can be by giving some kind of money, for example. Maybe in some country there was they need help with some disaster. So Canada has some foreign aid programs. They will provide foreign aid to those countries. So, for example, when there's an earthquake, I'm trying to think. Well, there was an earthquake recently in Myanmar, I believe. And so Canada provided some foreign aid. Now, that foreign aid, it can go to the country's government or it can go to some organizations. And there are some foreign aid organizations, for example, the Red Cross. The Red Cross is one of the most famous humanitarian organizations, and Canada provides aid to the Red Cross. And the Red Cross provides the aid, okay? So that's what it means, foreign aid. Should we provide it to the countries to help them? It can be money, it can be donations, it can be people, it can be like the military. and when they ask for it through our programs. Okay. So everyone, we can see that this question is not easy. Okay. And for level 5-6, no part 7 question will be easy. Okay. And that's why we said earlier that part 7 is not for CLB 5-6. Okay. It's not for this level. And so we should keep that in mind. Okay. But then again, so we should try to answer the question as best we can. And now, of course, that we understand the question, we're going to try to build a 5-6 answer. And the 5-6 answer, what it does, like we said earlier, we just need to answer the question clearly. We need to try to say our ideas clearly, short and clearly, not explain. That's the big problem that level 5-6 has. They don't explain clearly. Let's try to give some basic ideas, okay? Let's not try to make many simple errors. Of course, we're not going to make any, but that's what we're going to try and do. Okay, so let's start by introducing the question then, everyone. Okay, so you can see here it says, from my point of view, for some reasons, I think Canada should provide foreign aid, but for other reasons, I disagree. So it's always better to agree and disagree. But you can always just say, I agree. Yes, I think Canada should provide foreign aid, or no, I don't think Canada should provide foreign aid. Okay? It's always better to think of yes and no, especially for do you think questions, okay? And we're going to try and do that. I want to remind you that I'm going to use the blue for structure or organization, and the red is for grammar, and black is other parts. So we introduced the question clearly. For some reasons, I think Canada should provide foreign aid. For other reasons, I disagree. Okay, so now let's get to our first side. Okay, so first and most importantly, I agree because all nations can require foreign aid when they are going through terrible situations, such as suffering a natural disaster. Okay, so I said, yes, I said natural disasters, earthquakes, hurricanes, floods, okay? So all nations can require that foreign aid. So when nations require, other nations and countries, they support with foreign aid. Well, I'll give you another example right now with the war. Canada supports the war with foreign aid, okay? It's another example. So it says here, I agree because nations can require. So let's explain some more. Similarly, there are some organizations which really help the people, like the Red Cross. So it would be great to help those countries in need. Perfect. So you see, we said also there are some organizations that really help people, like the Red Cross. The Red Cross really helps people. So we explained, so it would be great to help those countries in need. So Canada should provide. So it's great to provide foreign aid. Very good. So you see here, everyone, we agreed for this reason. We gave another example, and then we said that it would be great to help those countries. Very good. Already we've said a lot, but we should say, or actually, you can just finish here for level 5. This would be more than enough. But let's try to build a 6. Let's try to say the other side. Okay, what about the other side? On the other hand, however, I disagree because in many cases, the money could go to bad politicians and people who don't help the citizens, such as terrorists. Okay, well, this is one example that many people think sometimes when you give money to some countries, the money goes to bad politicians or to people who don't help. Like, for example, terrorists. Some terrorist organizations, they ask for foreign aid. They have people to do it, yeah. And that's not good, okay? So there's an example of why I disagree. Also, sometimes Canada needs the money to help its citizens. Yes, Canada needs money to help its people, its citizens. So Canada should check if we can provide foreign aid. So it says here we should check. Maybe we can't provide. Maybe yes, maybe no. We should check. So very good ideas. Very good ideas. Okay, everyone. So here I said some ideas why I think it's not good to provide foreign aid. Okay? It could go to bad politicians, and Canada needs to help its people. Okay, so now I'm just going to say one sentence to close it all out. Closing sentence. Overall, I strongly believe that Canada's foreign aid can be good for the world. Oh, so it can be good. But I think we need to know where the money goes and take care of our country first. So you see, I said overall, it's good to help. But we need to know where it goes and we need to help Canada first. Okay, so everyone, well, this answer that we said is very strong for level 6 or 7, okay? Very strong. Okay? Now, firstly, it's that because we organized very well. We introduced the question, one side, we added ideas, we explained. Another side, we added ideas, we explained. And we closed. Anytime you can organize like that and you can say ideas in a very organized way, it's higher level, okay? Secondly, we said two very good ideas. Very good ideas. Two sides. We said that side and explained, and we said this side and explained. So when we can do that, whenever we can do that, it's very strong, everyone. Very strong. Okay? So, also, of course, we used some really good language. We used modals here, which we should try to use should and could and can. Can require, should provide, should check, need to know. Those modals are very strong language, okay, everyone? So the language and the ideas we gave are also 6+, okay? Now the level 5, we don't need to explain so much. Level 5, we don't explain so much. And of course, everyone here, we said everything so perfectly. So for level 5, level 5 can make some errors or will make some errors. And level 6 too. But the less errors you make, the higher your score. Okay? So everyone, it is about speaking quality. Okay? So we need to speak this answer in 1 minute and 30 seconds. And we need to speak this answer in 1 minute and 30 seconds with strong flow and intonation. Flow and intonation is very important, everyone. And the more flow and intonation, the higher your score. Flow and intonation, slowly, clearly, and continuously. Okay? So if you can do that, you will get 6 or higher for sure. So I'm going to give you the example here of reading this answer with good flow and intonation for this level. And I'm going to do it in 1.5 minutes. Now, please follow along so you can see how we want to say this answer with good flow and intonation for this level. From my point of view, for some reasons, I think Canada should provide foreign aid, but for other reasons, I disagree. First and most importantly, I agree because all nations can require foreign aid when they are going through terrible situations, such as suffering a natural disaster. Similarly, there are some organizations which really help the people, like the Red Cross. So, it would be great to help those countries in need. On the other hand, however, I disagree because in many cases, the money could go to bad politicians and people who don't help the citizens, such as terrorists. Also, sometimes Canada needs the money to help its citizens. So, Canada should check if we can provide foreign aid. Overall, I strongly believe that Canada's foreign aid can be good for the world. But I think we need to know where the money goes and take care of our country first. Okay, everyone. So, you see there, I said it in 1 minute and 30 seconds. And I was trying to say things with good flow and intonation for this level. Yes, okay? And that's important. We don't need to speak so quickly. Well, it's higher level. Okay? So that's what I was trying to do. Speak this answer clearly, and you see that I did it in 1 minute and 30 seconds. Okay. So, everyone, to practice, what can we do to practice? Well, the first thing that we can do is we can read and understand this answer, everyone. Okay? We need to read and understand the answer. How was this answer organized? It's very important for you to read and understand that, okay? Secondly, we need to read and understand how ideas were expressed. How were ideas expressed in this answer? Okay? How were they expressed? We need to read and understand that. Similarly, we need to read and understand the language. How do we use this grammar? Should, can, require, are going through, don't help. We need to read and understand that. Okay? Then, everyone, we need to read and speak this answer in 1 minute and 30 seconds, like I did. We need to read it and speak it in 1 minute and 30 seconds so that we can improve our flow and intonation. Okay? That's very important, everyone. We need to read and understand that. We need to read and speak in 1 minute and 30 seconds to improve our flow and intonation. And lastly, everyone, can you speak this answer in 1 minute and 30 seconds without reading? After you practice reading and speaking it in 1 minute and 30 seconds, you should try to speak the answer without reading. Can you do that? If you can do that, then you are this level. The level 6 student, they can speak this answer after reading it for a few times. They can do it. It's true. Okay? So, it's very important, everyone, to read and understand, read, and speak, and then try to speak it without reading from your knowledge, not from memory. Okay? Because that's how we improve, from your knowledge, not memory. And so for that, everyone, I'm going to be leaving a link in the description box to our sample answer. Here is our sample answer, so you can read and speak it, okay? Also, let's not forget about the vocabulary and reading exercises, okay? Vocabulary and grammar exercises, sorry. Those vocabulary and grammar exercises will really help you build your vocabulary and grammar for this part. Okay? Also, everyone, don't forget about our CELPIP library. Okay, CELPIP library includes over 60 examples of speaking part 7. Okay, all these topics will be really good for you to develop your knowledge about speaking part 7. Okay, so I strongly recommend artificial intelligence. Well, I strongly recommend that you subscribe to the CELPIP library. Okay, and for that, with discount code CELPIP79, you can get a 3-month subscription to CELPIP library for $10.99 Canadian. Wow, $10.99 Canadian for over 100 exams almost, because we have version 2s of reading and listening, okay? So that will really, really increase your skills and knowledge, and for English in general, everyone, okay? So I strongly recommend you subscribe to the CELPIP library. And don't forget, everyone, practice makes perfect.